You have waited for this moment longer than you realize. Not consciously, perhaps, but deep within you, a part of yourself has always known that change was coming. Life has a way of preparing us quietly, almost imperceptibly, for the shift that will transform everything. And now, that moment has arrived. You may feel it as a subtle stirring, a whisper in your mind, a restless energy that won't let you stay the same. That is the signal, that is the awakening. This is the turning point where everything begins to move in your favor. You must understand that this moment is not outside of you. It is not something that will descend from the sky or be handed to you on a silver platter. It has been inside of you all along, waiting for you to recognize it. The world may appear chaotic, unyielding, or unchangeable, but the truth is, your inner awareness is the compass that guides reality. When you awaken to that awareness, when you see clearly that the power to shift your life has always been yours, the outer world begins to reflect it immediately. This is why so many people fail to notice the turning point when it comes. They wait for a grand event, a sign that seems dramatic or undeniable, but the universe has been whispering to them in small ways all along. Perhaps it was a conversation, a fleeting idea, a restless thought that wouldn't leave them alone. These are not coincidences, these are the breadcrumbs leading you to this very moment, and now the call cannot be ignored. You may ask yourself, how do I know this is truly the moment? The answer is simple, it feels inevitable. There is an internal knowing that arises, a certainty that nothing will ever be the same if you step fully into it. The doubts, the fears, the old stories, they may still linger, but they no longer dominate. You have reached a threshold. You have been prepared to cross it. It is not a matter of luck or timing. It is a matter of recognition. To see the moment, to truly feel it, is to step into the flow of life and allow it to carry you forward. And so the first act of transformation is awareness. To be aware is not to wait passively. It is to acknowledge that the world is ripe for your participation, that the change you have longed for is within reach because you are ready to receive it. Awareness awakens the mind and the heart simultaneously. It is the recognition that the universe conspires in your favor when your attention is focused and your intention is clear. Every shift, every opportunity, every door that seems to open unexpectedly is a reflection of your inner state. This is why preparation matters more than effort. Effort alone will not awaken the moment. It is readiness, alertness, and the willingness to embrace the unseen that calls forth the visible. You have already carried the tools for this change, hidden within your imagination, your vision, your belief. And now, as you allow your awareness to align with what is possible, the moment crystallizes before you. What once seemed distant and unattainable is now tangible and alive. Do not resist it. Do not hesitate. Step forward with the knowing that this moment is yours, that it has been waiting for you, and that the life you have imagined can begin now. Everything begins the instant you recognize it. Once you recognize the turning point, the next step is to master your state. Understand this clearly. It is not the circumstances around you that determine what happens next. It is the state you inhabit that shapes everything. Your mood, your focus, the energy you carry, these are the invisible forces that attract or repel experiences in your life. To sit idly, waiting for the world to change, is to misunderstand the true nature of power. Change comes first from within. And when you command your state, the outer world bends to meet it. Your state is the sum of your thoughts, your feelings, your imagination. It is the lens through which life is filtered, and it determines what you notice, what you pursue, and ultimately what you achieve. When you are aware of this, you realize that mastery over your state is mastery over your life. You begin to see that the limitations you once believed in were never real. They were reflections of a state you no longer need to inhabit. Once you choose differently, the world around you will begin to mirror that choice. Many spend their lives chasing external signs of success, thinking that a new job, a new relationship, or a new opportunity will finally make them feel complete. But no external thing can dictate your state. The rich, the famous, the accomplished, they too experience doubt, fear, and anxiety. What separates those who succeed from those who falter is not circumstance, but the consistent ability to enter the state that aligns with their desired outcome. You must become that state. You must embody it fully, right now in the present moment. To master your state, you must become conscious of the energy you allow into your mind. You must notice when fear creeps in, when doubt whispers, when impatience or frustration rises. These are signals, not enemies. They show you where your attention has strayed. The practice is simple, though not always easy. Shift your focus from what is lacking to what is possible. Replace worry with imagination, hesitation with feeling, and fear with the certainty that your inner world creates your outer world. Your imagination is not fantasy, it is the very engine that moves reality. You must also understand that this mastery is not a one-time act, it is a continuous alignment. Life will present challenges, distractions, and contradictions. You will not always feel ready, and you will not always feel certain. Yet even in those moments, you can return to the state that supports the life you are creating. It is not about controlling every external event, it is about commanding your inner world with such clarity and conviction that the external naturally responds. Imagine yourself now as the person who has already achieved what you desire. Feel the certainty, the joy, the freedom. Let it fill your entire being. Let it color the way you speak, the way you move, the way you engage with life. This is not pretending, this is remembering who you truly are and stepping into the reality that has been waiting for you. When your state is aligned with your vision, opportunities appear effortlessly, obstacles dissolve, and the impossible begins to bend toward the inevitable. There is no greater power than the mastery of your own state. It is the foundation upon which all transformation is built. To master your state is to awaken to the truth that nothing outside of you can determine what you become, and everything inside of you has been waiting for your recognition. Everything responds to the state you inhabit. Now that you have recognized the moment and mastered your state, it is time to release what has been holding you back. Every limitation you have ever believed in is simply a story you have told yourself, a habit of thought that no longer serves you. These stories feel real because you have entertained them, repeated them, and allowed them to define the boundaries of your life. But what is imagined can also be unimagined. The moment you see this, the chains begin to fall away. Doubt is not real. Fear is not real. They are shadows of your own thinking, illusions that appear stronger only because you give them attention. You may feel the weight of past failures or the sting of old disappointments, but these are not proof of limitation. They are simply evidence of the mind you have allowed to run unchecked. Every "I cannot," every "it is impossible," every excuse you have ever told yourself is now ready to dissolve because you are awake to a greater truth. What you imagine and feel as real in the present moment becomes the blueprint for your life. Releasing these limiting beliefs requires courage. It requires the willingness to confront the thoughts that have secretly governed you, to examine them without fear, and to let them go. The mind will resist at first. It will whisper, "But this is who you are," or "You cannot change this." Do not listen. These are not truths. They are the last echoes of a state you no longer need to inhabit. The new life you are stepping into does not belong to the old self. The moment you relinquish attachment to limitation, the space is created for your desires, your visions, and your possibilities to enter. You are not trying to force reality to change. You are aligning with the reality that has always awaited your recognition. The act of letting go is not struggle, it is simple acknowledgement. It is saying, "I see you, old thought. I honor you for keeping me safe, but I am ready to live differently. I am ready to be free." And in that readiness, everything begins to shift. The walls that seemed immovable, the circumstances that seemed fixed, the patterns that seemed eternal, they all begin to bend toward the new reality you are choosing. This is why inner work is so powerful. It is not about correcting the world, it is about correcting the lens through which you see the world. The moment you release the inner blocks, the external transforms effortlessly. You may notice opportunities appearing, relationships deepening, doors opening where there were none. You may feel a new energy coursing through your life, an unseen force guiding your steps. This is the universe responding to your inner clarity. It has always been waiting for this alignment. Every thought you entertain, every feeling you nurture, is shaping the life you are about to live. So choose thoughts that support possibility, that honor your potential, that reflect the person you wish to become. Do not settle for fragments of belief or half-hearted desires. Fully embrace the truth that you are capable, worthy, and ready for transformation. The old stories have no power unless you feed them, and now you are no longer feeding them. To release limitation is to reclaim your life. To let go of doubt is to make space for certainty. To dissolve fear is to invite courage. This is not an abstract concept. It is a living reality, waiting for your full recognition. When you step into this awareness, you are no longer defined by what has happened or what could happen. You are defined by what you imagine, what you feel, and what you are willing to accept as true in this very moment. The life you have imagined has always been yours, and the only thing standing in the way is the old story. Now that you have released the old limitations, the next step is action. Not tentative, hesitant action, but bold, decisive action that flows naturally from the state you have embraced. Understand this clearly. The moment of transformation does not remain suspended in possibility. It calls for movement. It calls for steps that demonstrate your commitment, steps that declare to the universe that you are no longer waiting, that you are ready to live the life that has been quietly waiting for you all along. Action does not mean frantic busyness. It does not mean forcing results through struggle or fear. True action is an extension of your inner state. It flows effortlessly because it is aligned with who you are becoming. You already carry the power. Action is simply the bridge that allows the invisible to become visible. Every small step taken in alignment with your vision creates momentum, and that momentum cannot be stopped. The energy you release in decisive action ripples outward, drawing opportunities, support, and circumstances to you that were invisible before. Many hesitate, waiting for a perfect moment, a flawless plan, or the right conditions. But the truth is, perfection is an illusion. The right moment is always now. The only thing that prevents change is delay, hesitation, or lack of faith. The instant you act, you announce to the world, and more importantly to yourself, that your life is no longer a dream but a living reality in motion. Bold action does not ask for guarantees. It does not question results. It trusts the unseen, knowing that the unseen is already working on your behalf. Begin with what feels natural, but do not wait for certainty. The first step may be small, almost imperceptible, yet it carries the weight of all that you have imagined. Pick one idea, one possibility, and bring it to life. Speak it, write it, feel it, move toward it. Each act is a declaration that you are no longer bound by fear or by old patterns. Each act is a bridge between the world as it is and the world as it can be. And as you continue, even the smallest acts compound, creating results that seem miraculous only to those who fail to see the invisible foundation beneath them. Action is also a teacher. It reveals the truth of your readiness, the depth of your commitment, and the alignment of your state with your desires. When you act, you are tested, not by the difficulty of the task, but by the quality of your inner conviction. If doubt rises, if fear appears, let the act of movement itself be your answer. Momentum silences hesitation. Motion affirms your state. The universe responds to your willingness to step forward, and in ways you cannot yet imagine, the world conspires to meet you there. Remember, you are not struggling against the world. You are flowing with the world, guiding it with the energy of your vision. Bold action is the manifestation of belief. It is the visible echo of your inner knowing. And once you act, once you truly commit, there is no turning back. The life you have imagined begins to solidify around your steps, and you realize that the effort was never about forcing reality, but about stepping into the reality that has always awaited your recognition. Do not wait. Do not hesitate. The moment is here, and it demands your participation. The world is ready to respond, but only if you are ready to move. Let your actions be fearless, aligned, and unwavering, and watch as the impossible bends toward the inevitable. The moment is powerful because you move within it. As you take bold action, you begin to notice a shift, not just in your circumstances, but in yourself. You feel it in the quiet moments, in the subtle clarity that arises when your mind, heart, and imagination are fully aligned. This is where the true power of life resides, not in struggle or effort, but in alignment with your own inner guidance. You are no longer acting from confusion or fear. You are acting from the certainty that your inner world shapes your outer world. Every thought, every feeling, every intention now carries weight, and the universe responds to that weight with perfect precision. Alignment is not something you negotiate with the world, it is a state you claim within yourself. It is the harmony between what you imagine and what you feel, the seamless integration of vision and belief. When you are aligned, your actions are effortless, your decisions are clear, and your path forward feels natural, inevitable, and unstoppable. There is no conflict between desire and reality because you have already placed your mind, your heart, and your imagination in the place of fulfillment. What you seek externally has already been established internally. The power of alignment lies in trust, trust in yourself, trust in the unseen, trust in the intelligence of your own imagination. You do not need to force results, manipulate circumstances, or convince the world to cooperate. You simply allow the state within you to dictate the outcome, and the world adjusts automatically. Opportunities present themselves, ideas flow, and people appear at precisely the right moment. Nothing is left to chance, because chance cannot touch a mind and heart fully aligned with their own vision. You will notice that as your alignment deepens, resistance fades, obstacles that once seemed insurmountable no longer hold power over you. Challenges become teachers, not roadblocks, because you are now seeing life through the lens of possibility rather than limitation. Even when circumstances appear uncertain, you feel an unshakable confidence, a quiet knowing that everything is unfolding as it should. This confidence is not arrogance, it is the natural result of inner alignment. It is the effortless power that moves unseen forces to work in your favor. Every day, every moment offers the opportunity to strengthen this alignment. Pay attention to your thoughts and feelings. Notice when you drift into doubt or fear, and gently return to the state of certainty and vision. Feed your mind with what you wish to see manifest, and let your imagination do the work that reason cannot. Your imagination is the tool through which life itself is shaped. It is not fantasy, it is the creative power that turns invisible intentions into tangible reality. The more fully you embrace this, the more powerfully your alignment manifests in the world around you. You are not separate from the life you desire. You are not chasing something outside yourself. The life you imagine, the success you seek, the joy and freedom you crave, they are already present within you, waiting for you to acknowledge them and act from that recognition. When you align, you become a magnet, not through effort, but through the undeniable force of your own being. People, circumstances, and opportunities naturally gravitate toward the state you inhabit, and everything that once felt difficult or elusive begins to flow with ease. This is why alignment is the true secret of transformation. It is the quiet, unshakable power of living in harmony with your own inner reality. It is the energy that makes every action meaningful, every step purposeful, and every moment a reflection of what you already know to be true. When you fully embrace this state, you will realize that nothing in life is impossible, because the impossibility existed only in the absence of alignment. All that is needed is for you to be fully aligned, fully present, and fully aware of your own power. Now, having recognized the moment, mastered your state, released limitation, taken bold action, and aligned fully with your inner power, the final step is to embrace the new reality that is waiting for you. This is not a distant dream or a goal to chase in the future. This is the life that has already been created in your imagination, the life that responds to the state you have cultivated and the actions you have taken. To embrace it is to step fully into the life you have imagined, without hesitation, without doubt, without looking back. To embrace your new reality, you must see it as already present. Too many wait for evidence, for confirmation, for proof in the outside world, yet the proof is in your recognition. When you feel it as real, when you live it in your mind and heart, the world must follow. Reality cannot resist what has been fully imagined, fully felt, and fully accepted. You have been preparing for this moment all your life, and now all that remains is your acknowledgement, your willingness to walk into it with confidence and joy. Do not hold back. Do not tiptoe into this reality as if it were fragile or conditional. Step fully, boldly, and unapologetically. Speak as the person who has already arrived. Move as the person who has already achieved. Think as the person who has already become. Every action, every thought, every feeling must match the reality you now claim. This is not pretension, it is alignment. It is the natural expression of the inner world manifesting outwardly. The moment you live from this truth, the impossible begins to bend, the improbable begins to appear, and what once felt unattainable becomes inevitable. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small it seems. Every step, every shift in consciousness, every act of belief is a victory. Recognize that each victory strengthens your connection to this new reality. It is not enough to imagine the life and then forget it, to create in thought and then doubt it. The new reality must be lived, embraced, and acknowledged in every detail. Allow it to fill you completely, and you will find that your entire being resonates with it. The world cannot help but respond to that resonance. Remember, the new reality is not a static destination, it is a living experience. It grows as you grow, expands as you expand, and deepens as your awareness deepens. You are no longer the person who waited, doubted, or resisted. You are the person who stepped into the moment, who claimed their power, and who allowed the life they imagined to become their experience. Every day, every thought, every action can reinforce this reality, or if neglected, can allow old patterns to creep back. Be vigilant, but also be joyful. This reality is yours to enjoy, to explore, and to expand. As you embrace this reality, you also become a magnet for even greater possibilities. Your alignment and courage ripple outward, drawing experiences, people, and circumstances that match the life you now inhabit. Doors that once seemed closed swing open effortlessly. Ideas flow freely. Opportunities appear as if by magic. And the beauty of it is that it is not magic. It is the natural consequence of living fully, fearlessly, and consciously in the state of what you desire. Do not underestimate the power of acknowledgement. To truly embrace your new reality is to own it completely. It is to feel it, speak it, act as it, and be it in every way. The world will adjust, align, and respond. Nothing remains outside of you that is not first within you. Everything you have imagined, everything you have prepared for, everything you have believed in is now ready to be lived fully and completely. Step into it without reservation. Step into it with the certainty that the life you have imagined has always been yours.